Christmas is a truly enchanting time, particularly for children. In 2010, a young girl named Annie Klepper received the gift she had always wished for. Annie was born in North America, specifically in McCutcheonville, Ohio, a small town with a population of just 400. With ample land available, she enjoyed growing up on a spacious property filled with various animals, including cats and dogs. Yet, her absolute favorite animals were horses. Growing up, Annie became accustomed to the large size of the majestic four-legged creatures, as her family was fortunate enough to own a stable along with a few of the animals. For the first 5 years of her life, Annie helped her mom, Shannon, and her dad with the horses they owned, as much as a 5-year-old could anyway. But that all changed when Christmas of her 5th year finally came around. Seeing how much their daughter seemed to love the beautiful horses they had, Annie's parents decided to surprise her that Christmas. The best part is that they filmed the whole reveal, which was posted on YouTube. Little Annie can be seen all bundled up in her winter clothes as she runs across the snowy field toward her home stables. The little girl clearly had no idea what awaited her in the barn, as she kept bending down to make snowballs to throw at her mother, who was following behind her, trying to keep her daughter's attention on getting to the barn instead of playing in the snow. Shannon can be heard encouraging her daughter to keep walking, reminding her that her hands would get wet and cold as she kept picking up the freezing snow.
No, not with those gloves. That'd be too cold.
As the mother and daughter got closer to the barn, they were greeted by their 2 cats, a ginger moggy named Jack and a black and white cat named Chrissy. Annie stopped to pet the animals while wishing them a Merry Christmas. Once greeted, Jack then turned back around and headed toward the barn doors as if he was showing Annie the way to the massive surprise awaiting her inside. Once the mother and daughter duo were inside the barn, Annie immediately noticed her father, who was sitting in a corner filming her. The little girl walked up to her father and started telling him about the presents that Santa had already given her that day, completely unaware of the massive surprise waiting for her behind a nearby door. As she looked around, Annie noticed a large red bow tied to one of the horse's paddocks. Thinking nothing of it, she looked to the ground and saw a basket of items. Approaching the basket, Annie commented that Santa had left the items as a present for the horses before realizing that they were actually for her. As she inspected the basket, her mother commented that she heard some extra munching in there today, giving Annie a clue as to what might be happening and who might be awaiting her discovery. Absorbed in the items she had found, Annie didn't pay any attention to what her mother had said. Instead, she proceeded to tell her that she might have been given a pink brush and a book on horses from Santa. Shannon asked her daughter why Santa might have left her a brush, to which Annie simply responded, "To brush the horses." "Oh, really?" Still with no clue as to what the true purpose of the items actually was, the little girl then picked up the book out of the basket and looked through it, as most children would do. Annie seemed to completely disregard the most important part of the gift, a little piece of white paper. The white piece of paper, which was rolled into a scroll and sticking out of the basket, finally gained the young girl's attention when her parents prompted her to have a look at it. The girl picked up the scroll and began to read through the letter that Santa had left for her. However, halfway through it, she got distracted after learning exactly what Santa had left for her. The letter read, "Dear Annie, I hope that you liked all of your presents, but this one is the most special present of all. I do not usually deliver ponies for Christmas, but you have been an exceptionally good little girl this year. It was very difficult, but I found the nicest, sweetest pony in the whole world. His middle name is Snowflake, but his full name is Pepper Snowflake Klepper. He is yours to love, play with, and be your very best friend. Merry Christmas, Annie. Love, Santa." After hearing the name of the pony, Annie couldn't contain her excitement and exclaimed joyfully, "Mommy, I got a pony." The little girl then started jumping up and down excitedly before looking around in anticipation of where the horse might be hiding. She finally noticed the name Pepper engraved on the stall next to her. She asked her mother to open the door for her so that she could finally get her first look at her new four-legged best friend. Once inside the stall, Annie laid her eyes on the new horse for the very first time. It was a beautiful white and gray horse. The little girl immediately walked up to him and gave the animal a big hug around the neck, to which the horse lowered his head to her, as if greeting her as well. The video then ended with Annie ecstatic over her new Christmas present. Since being posted on YouTube, the video has gained over 6 million views worldwide. But more than that, it showed the beginning of Annie's love for horses, something that would lead her into her future career. As she grew older, Annie's love for horses grew as well. She spent as much time as she could with the majestic creatures, and even began participating in competitions such as dressage. One thing that she noticed when she started competing, though, was the distinct lack of equestrian clothing for children. Deciding to act on this niche in the market, Annie and her mother set up their own clothing brand called Annie's Equestrian Apparel when the girl was just 8 years old. But simply being an entrepreneur wasn't enough for Annie. She has since gone on to become the youngest dressage rider in history to win double gold in the FEI North American Youth Championships. She won first place in both the individual test and the freestyle test back in 2019 when she was just 15 years old, riding a 13-year-old horse named Happy Texas Moonlight. The remarkable performance, and only the duo's second competition together, helped the U.S. win a team silver medal. Victory had never even entered Annie's mind. "I wanted to do my best and make everyone around me super proud," she said. "We had been working hard for months and months leading up to those few minutes in the show ring. It was such an emotional roller coaster. We never expected to win." Along with her riding success, her apparel business has also grown in both popularity and offerings. As Annie got older, she and her mother started introducing more adult clothes, such as snazzy schooling breeches and show jackets. "Every time we do a new collection, we try to make something completely different from what we've seen in the horse world," Annie says. "We try to create something for a specific customer who likes something unique, elegant, and a little bit fun." Her business helps Annie offset the cost of her riding. As her dressage career has risen, so have the costs. "Dressage is a financial drain," said Annie, "especially at the upper levels. Despite this, the young teenager is more in love with her horses and the sport than ever before. I adore horses. They are a huge part of who I am," she said. "I can't envision my life without riding." With a young girl on track to become one of the leading dressage riders in the United States, the equestrian world can expect to see much more of this extraordinary young talent. It all began with a wonderful gift that Santa brought her all those years ago. What do you think of this story? Let us know in the comments section. I hope you like this story. Please like it and share it with your loved ones. Also subscribe and press the bell icon to never miss the update from our channel. Thank you.